Welcome, everyone, to today's Explainer. We're about to take a really deep dive into the intense, kind of grueling, and honestly absolutely fascinating first day of a 10-day Vipassana course. We're going straight to the source today, decoding an original discourse transcript to figure out exactly what happens when you willingly lock yourself away for 10 straight days of profound mental work. So consider this your official briefing for a mental boot camp, where we uncover an ancient Indian technique designed to completely rewire the way you experience reality. Let's get started.
Okay, let's dive right into this. If you're like most people, when you hear the words meditation retreat, you probably picture, a peaceful spa-like getaway, right? You might imagine yourself sitting cross-legged on a cushy pillow, maybe listening to some soothing ambient music, just escaping the stress of the modern world and unwinding. But according to the source material we're unpacking today, well, that assumption literally couldn't be further from the truth.
Because while the expectation is a relaxing holiday, the reality? The source describes this experience as a deep, surgical operation of the mind. Participants are putting in incredibly hard work from 4:30 in the morning all the way until 9:30 at night. This is a genuinely grueling schedule, and it's designed specifically not to help you escape your problems, but to force you to face them head-on. It's this profound, rigorous process of unearthing your most deep-rooted mental habits. So here is our pre-op checklist for the days ahead. 1. Not a relaxing vacation. 2. The pure breath technique. 3. The mad wandering mind. 4. Surgery without anesthesia. And finally, 5. The rules of survival.
Not a relaxing vacation.
The source material is incredibly blunt here. It says you've come here to burn and sweat, not to picnic. The host of the retreat explains that the evening discourses, which is the only time participants actually get to listen to some active guidance, are absolutely not for intellectual entertainment or fun philosophical debate. They are crucial, practical instructions. This is a very delicate, ancient technique, and the warning is clear. If you don't understand it properly, you're going to practice it incorrectly, and you'll completely miss out on the profound benefits you came all that way to achieve.
Moving on to Section 2, the pure breath technique. Now, what's really interesting about this is how incredibly strict the rules for this mental tool actually are. The source emphasizes over and over that you cannot add anything to the breath. No mantras, no chanting, no visualizing shapes or colors, and no repeating the names of gods or gurus. The breath has to remain pure. Sure, adding a word or an image might make the practice feel a little easier, but it completely ruins the universal, non-sectarian nature of the technique, and it actually prevents your mind from reaching the deep levels required for true healing. You see, using words or visualizations can very quickly create what they call a concentrated mind. You feel peaceful, sure, but it's really only surface level. The deep-rooted mental impurities, they remain completely untouched. Observing the pure, natural breath, however, allows you to dig all the way down to the roots of your subconscious, and that is what leads to a truly purified mind, one that is actually free of defilements from the bottom up.
All right, Section 3, the mad wandering mind.
The source offers a pretty stark diagnosis of the human condition here. Basically, our minds completely refuse to stay grounded in the present moment. And it uses this brilliant madman analogy to illustrate it. Just imagine watching your own thoughts. Step 1, you're enjoying a pleasant memory of a past meal. Step 2, completely out of nowhere, you suddenly remember you need to buy soap for the shower. And then step 3, you're randomly fantasizing about winning a made-up argument against an enemy. Your thoughts are just jumping erratically between the past and the future with zero logical connection. Honestly, if someone acted this out in public, just randomly screaming about soap and imaginary enemies, we would literally call them mad.
So the first impurity generated by these erratic mental jumps is called raga. This translates to craving, attachment, or the burning desire for more of what is pleasant. Whenever your wandering mind dwells on a pleasant memory or a fun future fantasy, it instantly reacts by saying, "Hey, I want more of this." And this burning, continuous desire for the pleasant creates a really deep underlying tension in the mind. And then, on the flip side of that coin is dvesha. This is aversion, hatred, or the burning desire to violently push away what is unpleasant. Whether your mind is remembering a painful insult from years ago or dreading something coming up next week, it reacts with aversion. The source points out that raga and dvesha are universal diseases. They burn anyone, regardless of your background, your race, your religion, just like a physical fire naturally burns anyone who touches it.
Which brings us to Section 4, surgery without anesthesia. So what exactly happens when the pure, sharp tool of breath awareness collides with this highly defiled, constantly wandering mind? Well, the source gives us an incredibly vivid metaphor here. I want you to imagine your defiled mind, completely full of these burning fires of craving and aversion, as a red-hot stove. Now, imagine a rare moment of pure, reaction-free awareness, just observing the natural breath exactly as it is, as a splash of cold water. When you throw ice-cold water onto a red-hot stove, what happens? You get a violent, hissing, explosive reaction.
And this explosive mental reaction actually manifests physically. Participants start experiencing intense physical pain. We're talking severe headaches, aching legs, extreme restlessness, especially right around days 2 and 6 of the retreat. But the source frames this in a really beautiful, if slightly gross, way. This pain is actually proof that the surgery is working. It's literally the pus leaving the deep mental wounds. Those deep-rooted defilements are finally bubbling to the surface so they can be permanently cleared away.
As the source warns, you must do your own operation. There is no anesthesia. This is absolutely paramount. No doctor, no guru, no magic chant can do this heavy lifting for you. You have to face the surfacing pain and that mental chaos head on. You cannot run away, and you cannot numb yourself. You just have to sit there, stay present, and observe it.
Finally, Section 5, the rules of survival. To actually safely navigate this intense process without quitting or, causing psychological harm, the most famous rule you have to follow is Arya Maun, or noble silence. Now, this isn't just about keeping your mouth shut. It is the complete silence of body, speech, and mind. That means absolutely no talking, no hand gestures, not even making eye contact with your fellow meditators. Breaking this silence doesn't just ruin your own internal surgery by generating a flood of new thoughts, but it cruelly disrupts the incredibly delicate mental operations of the people sitting right next to you.
And this brilliantly illustrates another key survival tactic, the diet rule. Participants must only ever fill their stomachs to 75% capacity, purposely leaving that last 25% completely empty. Why? Well, the source correctly notes that overeating leads to severe drowsiness and lethargy. If you stuff yourself, going into a food coma makes the grueling mental work required to observe the breath and endure this mental surgery absolutely impossible. Then we have the absolute non-negotiables. You must never leave the physical boundaries of the retreat center. It's essentially like letting outside bacteria into an open operating theater. You're allowed a maximum of 5 minutes to lie down and rest. Any more and you'll fall asleep. You must never mix this with other meditation techniques, which the source compares to dangerously trying to ride 2 horses at the same time. And above all else, you have to commit to staying the full 10 days, no matter how much your brain is begging you to pack your bags and run away.
As we wrap up this explainer,
I want you to just take a second to reflect on this incredibly profound realization from the source material. We are all madmen inside. It's a pretty humbling thought, isn't it? Because beneath our calm, put-together exteriors, we really all carry this chaotic, wandering mind that is constantly burning with some form of craving or aversion. It's a universal condition, and it unites every single one of us in the need for deep, profound mental purification.
The first day sets the stage. The strict rules are in place, and the deep, often painful work of observing the pure breath has started. The mental surgery is officially underway. So the only question left to ponder is this. If you were the one sitting on that cushion, as the physical pain sets in and all your mind's chaos bubbles to the surface, would you run, or would you have the courage to face your own mind? Thank you so much for exploring this fascinating material with me. Keep learning, and as always, keep asking the big questions.